another DIY video for you. I really enjoy watching and making DIY videos myself, so I'm glad I can do another one. I do have another DIY video in the works at the moment, but that's going to take a little bit longer to do, so you'll be seeing that in a couple of weeks' time, hopefully. This method of making harnesses is better for people who maybe don't have as much experience with DIY, maybe you're just starting out, because we're going to be using webbing. So with this you literally just need the things that you want to make your harness out of, and then just a little bit of sewing. I recommend hand sewing rather than using the machine. I personally find that using the machine is more difficult, and if you don't know how to hand sew, like, it's really easy to learn, I promise. Yeah, pretty much anyone can learn to hand sew, unless of course you have something that physically prevents you from using your hands. You can learn. I'll be using this, as you saw. I got this off Etsy. I've been really wanting to make something out of hazard stripe something for a while, so finally managed to find something that I can do that with. I'll be using black plastic because I prefer how that looks with that particular pattern, and then I'll be using buckles to do it up with. This is probably the easiest thing to use to fasten it, but of course there are lots of other different options that I'm sure would work. So this is kind of a tutorial, but also just like an inspiration sort of thing, just showing you what you can do specifically with webbing. Of course you could use elastic as well, but I think elastic deteriorates a bit more, so I think webbing is a bit more long lasting than elastic. I've drawn out a design here already. That's what I'm going to be trying to make today. Okay, I'm going to start off with the back, just making this bit. So I will be using these, and then I'll just make that and then continue from there. And when you're attaching stuff, I'd recommend you fold it over like this, so when you sew it down it's nice and tidy at the back and it doesn't scratch you. Oh, and remember to seal the ends with a lighter every time.
We are living in one world. I just arrived from Germany and I love you. I'm with you. Germany is with you.
Because this is patterned, I'm making sure that it's the same way around for everything. Okay, so now I have a bit that's going to go down the back, and then I'm going to make the bit to go around the bottom, around there.
Glad
because I'm using a buckle in the front here, I want to also use these adjuster bits, just to add a bit more interest to it, and so I can actually adjust it as well. And because it's adjustable, that means you also don't need to have the lengths exactly the same, because you can just adjust it so it looks even. So I'm going to put it on like that first, and then I'm going to put one half of the buckle on, and then once it's like this, I'm then going to pull this out a bit, and then this, I'm going to sew this onto there. You can see kind of I've looped it through like that, and then because this is going to be hidden behind this, we don't need to loop this over, we can just sew it flat like that. I'm going to go off camera and finish making this, and then I'll come back. Here it is, all finished. It ended up being slightly different to how I drew it out, but that usually happens when I make stuff. So the only thing is, the only thing is this bit is a little bit too long, so I'm just going to need to shorten that so it fits better. But apart from that, I love how it turned out. I think it looks pretty good, if I do say so myself. So I ended up adding 2 buckles down here instead of attaching these bits to here, because that would have been a bit of an awkward shape. So instead I crossed them over and put buckles here. So if this is your first time trying something like this, then definitely just stick to a much more simple design. Maybe have a look on the internet for some inspiration, come up with your own design. Just have fun with it, play around, see what you can come up with. Yeah, I hope this was in some way helpful. I will see you in my next video. Bye!